with Lulu in particular, she has so many targets that she can kind of stop with her polymorph. And for Nico, kind of is going to have to be main or secondary engage alongside the Vi out his lane. And Sion is a champion that you can kind of get away with that kind of style.
Early play here onto the mid lane though. Doinby gets stunned up by the Unraveled Earth, but it's going to get matched up by Aki. 2-man seismic shovel, send people back. Beishwan in to try to make it a trade, but right now it is just first blood going over NIP, and Aki and Doinby should be able to walk out scot-free, not overexposed in a 1v1.
It's going to be an early dragon here for NIP. I'm getting confused because I see two Ezreals on the map, but I know Leave is on the bottom side here, and PP God is the one that's holding that top lane wave. They should have an idea, like, oh, this is Nico up here in the lane.
First move in mid.
What else are they going to be able to do here? Aki does not have his ultimate yet. Even if he steals a grub, he won't be able to hit level 6 in time, so they're going to be reliant on a kill. PP God, though.
Wow, 1xN already has to jump away with that flash. Doinby coming in, steals away the Crescent Guard, and sends Satab straight to his doom. Leave picks it up with a Mystic Shot, and now Doinby's fighting this 1v2, and liking those odds very, very much so. One more auto secures the Feat of Warfare already, and now the target is Hoya. He gets knocked up here by the Searing Charge. He went way too far forward, knowing that the rest of his team was already dead, and it's just an absolute wipe for Ninjas in Pyjamas. They're up 4-0 already in this game.
They get 3 kills there, and we said coming out of draft, the supports were going to be very influential on this game, and already seeing that here. PP God finding a flash, Tangle Barbs, gets multiple summoners now out of Thundertalk. It's probably just going to be a 2-for-1 trade. Beishwan should be able to get in here and finish off this objective, but already the Feats of Warfare going over to the Ninjas in Pyjamas in a very good state of the game when you look across their lanes here.
Yep, you know exactly that Beishwan is looking for this play. Actually allows for Aki to make a little rotation mid. Remember, Satab doesn't have flash off that earlier play. Aki just jumps over the wall, and it's just easy pickings potentially as Satab doesn't take a lot of damage just yet. There comes the Kingslayer forward. Doinby just needs a little bit more damage, and he'll pick it up with one more auto as that turret aggro was juggled beautifully. However, he's going to get matched here by Hoya, who uses the Unstoppable Onslaught down to the mid. A fully charged Decimating Smash will result in the shutdown, and the first kill going over to TT. Doinby uses the Stolen Away, didn't have ultimate, and is able to get out alive.
Now kind of giving up some of his advantage. And it now means that for them trying to kind of focus down Satab in the mid lane, NIP are going to be giving up some of these objectives. There's also going to be a Grubs that is just now spawning early on, so they get that trade going on for themselves, and I think it does minorly kind of advantage TT.
Oh, wow. Now, speaking of TT, they're looking for another play on to Leave. He just is unable to do anything, already shifted away, and gets shut down here by Beishwan. You all right, Hawk? What's going on?
Dude, he just shifted in place! Leave! No! No, 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 no! It's gonna be now 4 Grubs, or 4 or 5 Grubs going over to Thundertalk. What the hell, man? I mean, that's an uncharacteristic mistake coming in for Leave now. As
oh, hold on.
We're gonna be seeing them, okay.
Maybe he steals with the Buster Shot. Beishwan's able to ulti and keep himself alive for now. Here comes the call of the Forge God. He's gonna knock up just as Jin's out, but that's all that they're going to want. Target and reward being that second grub, making sure it's not a 5-to-1 split instead of just a 4-to-2.
And what I do want to see from TT is stuff like this. Maybe not like this. Wait a minute.
No, Beishwan, very, very tanky. Does a lot of damage with Olympica's Lightning as well. Dashes over the wall to take down PP God. However, he's going to get ulted here by Aki, but he's just using it as an escape tool. As Leave is once again in the middle of everybody once again and just gets taken down. And Doinby has to flash away from the Wind Becomes Lightning. It's 2 more kills over to Thundertalk.
And this is incredibly worrying now because 4 Grubs, you have the Demolish, and you have this Tristana. Thundertalk are going to get so much work done in the next few moments here and could potentially even recall and reset getting ready for the Herald. So Thundertalk are going to come out big winners here in these last couple of trades and find themselves with a gold lead coming out of this.
Okay, 1xN though, he's in trouble. His jump gets canceled. Oh,
Buster
shot! Beautiful Buster Shot to get Aki away, and that means Doinby is left out to dry. Another kill goes over to Beishwan.
What are we doing?
Forge God though, it connects.
Oh no!
On the 1xN, that's what NIP needed. It's a little bit of momentum, and now Satab is going to get taken down as well. PP God claiming that kill. Beishwan still a lot of HP, a lot of healing as well with the Sundered Sky, but will finally go down to Leave.
Bungie just gets a very little vision right there.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I was thinking This is really weird to try to go.
I agree. Not full reason to go for that. The one win is that actually Shanji was able to get a lot in terms of just gold off of, I think, a whole tower or just a bunch of a wave somewhere or other, as Hoya is getting targeted here. Doinby steals away the unstoppable onslaught, looking to try to chase down Hoya. I think it'll be pretty easy for them to do so. Instead, going to try to go to make it a good death, take down this wave, get as much farm as possible, as the rest of the map has been opened up a little bit for TT. Because of that, the Dragon should be theirs for the taking.
But look at what's now being lost for this. They used the Herald in that play just to get a single top tier one. I think this is a flurry of errors coming in from NIP, and in the picture-in-picture during that entire time, they engaged onto PP God. He has no flash.
Oh, nice flank though.
How
Two
does he get
flashes used, but
landed?
1xx still gets knocked up by that wild growth. Here comes that cease and desist. They take down the Tristana. And now with that numbers advantage being in favor of NIP, they can make their way towards this Dragon. And Beishon's going to have to go for some sort of steal if they want to pick it up.
I don't know if they're going to be able to go for this anymore. They have no 1xn. Sitab has no ultimate. I kind of want to see in the replay how that ult from Shanji landed.
We're gonna Doinby steals away that Sensei ultimate. Has been very valuable in some of these team fights so far. Shanji gets stunned up here by that Unraveled Earth, but here comes the Call to Forge God. It only finds one target. Hoya flashes away, but is still very beefy. He's going to have the zombie passive as well.
PP God!
PP God, though, lands a knockup with the Pop Blossom on it, too. Going to get followed up here by Aki, but it's going to be a trade. Beishwan still full HP. Satab issuing out a ton of damage. Beishwan has not died just yet. Looking to find another kill with this underside proxy a little up, but no, it's going to be Leave giving himself a triple kill as NIP find a huge win in that team fight.
And that was incredibly close. Even, I like this from Sitab, just using the ultimate, try to delay this wave from hitting the turret. PP God finds a massive Pop Blossom onto 1xn and Feather and blows open this fight. We saw how close that was with the Sundered Sky from Bichwan and Sitab throwing another rock. Let them play with a little bit more HP. Thundertalk are going to try and pincer them here with Bichwan coming over top, but the Dragon's already gone.
Knockup will land here with the Decimating Smash onto PP God combined with that Seismic Shove, but it's not nearly enough to take down the Nico. Meanwhile, Hoya could be in a little bit of trouble as Beishwan gets dove on upon by Shanji. First kill, going over to Leave. Aki trying to 1v1 Feather on the backside, but now in the zombie passive, Hoya going to try to do some extra damage here. PP God going to land the knockup here with the Pop Blossom onto Beishwan, take the Jin down, and now 1xn and Satab on the wrong side of the map, and so is all of TT. Will they be able to do anything to try to keep themselves alive here? Don't think so. There goes that ultimate, and 1xn is down.
Sitab is just going to have to take the Weaver's Wall right back to the base, retreat with his support, and grab themselves the Otacon.
Yeah, I mean, this is not the easiest composition to maneuver around if you are that Ezreal. A lot of tools that are going to try to be diving on top of you, a lot of skill shots going to be thrown at you, but he's done.
We're looking down a 5,000 gold differential. There's some experience difference. Look at the difference between Leave and 1xn. 3 levels between these two.
Yeah. And it's looking pretty rough. Looking pretty rough for Satab as well, as he just gets bursted down after the Call of Forge lands on top of his head. Here comes the stolen away unstoppable onslaught. They're looking straight for the backline carries. Feather goes and pops that wild growth, but now 1xn is fully targeted and fully taken down. Hoya the next on the menu, as this is a domination, a clinic for Ninjas in Pyjamas as they push down mid.
They're just going to look to end. There is no minion wave here. We kind of got to see Hoya's body end up kind of pushing for it. With 5 members, they have a lot of HP.
There's 1 minion alive, but they're not even going to need it. Beishwan just gets 1 shot, and all 5 members of NIP are going to head on to the Nexus at 26 minutes with a dominant Game 1 win over Thundertalk.
Are not very many mobile members from NIP. This Alistar is going to get value. The solo lanes in Thundertalk can very easily access the immobile mages and the AD carry of this Misfortune. And it'll be up to NIP to kind of get a little bit creative here.
Was Aki has to jump over the wall, and that's a huge win for Thundertalk on that major objective trade.
I think Aki just needed to kind of escort at least one of these lanes, play off of their priority. Losing the Smite fight definitely doesn't help there. And we also saw that in mid lane, Doinby, despite getting the back a little bit earlier than Sitab, actually lost out on priority because Yone was able to teleport first here, Grapes, because we saw with the fact that you have this Victor versus Yone matchup, the fact that the Misfortune and Braum are typically going to have easier and better times being able to skirmish with their opponents. We didn't secure Dragon priority. We missed our timer to be able to grab these grubs at the same time. So whether or not NIP are going to be able to kind of get those fights that they love to invite.
And the biggest reason that that would work here for this late game scaling competition is if you're able to get some of these major objectives. As I say that, PPGod could be in some trouble, has to flash away. 2 piercing arrows for the price of 1 thanks to the blight stacks allows for first blood to be secured here by Thundertalk, and a really nice flashing ace from Feather will make it a 2-for-0 special. Some extra damage to these turrets. However, as we say that, it might not be a full 3-for-3 split.
Uh-oh.
As Beishuan, we saw this worked out before. It looks like Aki not going to want to deal with it, and so actually, I take it all back. And now
wait a minute.
Ward, he can get fully jumped on here with Feather as well as Beishuan. He goes on target, will flash over the wall, and will be able to survive. But that's another 2 grubs going over to Thundertalk.
Has ultimate. Beishuan does as well. If they catch him under the turret, they're bringing multiple members here.
Here they go. Public execution on top of the Glacial Prison. And Shanji, a little bit too aggressive, trying to clear out that last plate. That is the feats of warfare. Going over to Thundertalk. Going to be starting this one up. Again, major objective control is big, and this is the composition that Thundertalk want to fight with here in this 5v5. Don't be on the flank on the Victor, but already the engage is going forward. It's a Dragon is secured here by Beishuan. Fate's Field lands. Aki forced to go invulnerable, and PPGod getting a flashed on here. A really nicely signed W2 from Beishuan, stuns up 2, and does a lot of damage. Stays up flashing forward. Another great engage from Feather, and Leave will drop as well. Thundertalk at the Dragon and 3 more. This is really impressive stuff from Feather. I know that sometimes been like focused on more like the enchanters and things like that, maybe some of the more supportive like picks where you kind of sit behind a little bit more, but this time around on the Nautilus, or sorry,
tier 1, I mean, with 5 grubs should be going down. They can even break open mid. This could be a large kind of style of play here for Thundertalk that generates a lot of gold for them. You're going to see NIP trying to overload on the other side of the map with Doinbi and Shanji joining up.
The tower is secured here. As looks like the Soul Laner is doing a little bit of dual pushing here, alongside Aki, I should say, as this Rob's not going to do enough to try to defend this tier 1. So Leave's going to have to join the area. Does have bullet time. Let's try to clear out some of this wave. Meanwhile, Soul Laners are doing some big work. It's actually then a knock up here onto Feather. Force to pop the Unbreakable Will. Aki coming forward one more time, waiting for the ultimate expire before Leave throws out any extra damage, and they will finally be able to take Feather down. However, look at the bottom side in the picture-in-picture. It is Doinbi and Shanji still pushing in onto the tier 3 turret with only Hoya here to respond. He gets locked into the cage. He's already used the dash. He flashes away from the public execution, and Hoya will go down. And now the tier 3 turret really under fire, but Beishuan is here to try to make it a stop to the play. Doinbi hiding under the bush, running out of mana. He probably will go down here in this fight. Heartstone proc comes out. One last auto, and the E with the Permafrost, and Beishuan will finish off the kill.
In the LPL so far, he has a pretty dominating lead, and we need to see him step up in this game if Thundertalk are going to try to win back in this series and give themselves a fighting chance for Game 3.
2.5 thousand gold is a lot of money here that SaTab has. You can already see like the item diff starting to come into play as that mid lane turret, not long for that world either. Of course, got some support for the rest of the team. And there's going to be the 3rd dragon. I mean, this is just so Thundertalk dominated here in this early game, and now transitioning into that mid game. I find it hard to find an angle for NIP to get back.
I'm glad that Aki is testing which side of the wall he can jump through.
Main win condition right now for NIP is to try to find some picks and stuff. Thundertalk doing a good job at playing together, grouping up as they're starting up this Otacon buff. NIP in the area, I just don't know how much damage they have to try to burst down.
It's already gone. Aki's nowhere nearby.
The Otacon very, very low. You already see Feather flashing it on the Doinbi. The Victor's tanky, but not tanky enough just yet. He pops the Death Ray and the flash. He's trying to get away just a little bit longer here. The first kill already going on to Leave. Beishuan flashing in over on top of the Victor. And there is a little bit of disruption here for Shanji, who joined the fight, but he joined it way too late. That is 3 more kills into the hands of TT.
And the Otacon still being taken with those Blood Roses.
Just playing with his food right now. He is so tanky. Nobody does any damage to him and just uses his body to secure Hoya full control over that bot side. Pick up that tier 2 turret.
So, you know what's surprising is that out of all of their 2-0s, they did have a 1-2 series where they went to 3 versus Invictus Gaming. So, you know, Invictus did end up still winning that game, but also kind of blue side Warriors. So we'll kind of see if how ThunderTalk are going to be able to close this one out, because NIP, they don't have the same amount of team fighting, right? Like, who is going to be able to hold all these targets in place for the Misfortune? Is Shanji actually going to be allowed to play side lane when all the lanes are this long and he's losing?
Not when you get ulted on like this, as Hoya with the public execution combined with that Glacial Prison. It's Yorick. Was dead before he even came back to life, seemingly. The zombie goes down. Another kill going into the hands of TT. Varus. That's going to be Soul. Pretty instantly here for ThunderTalk. NIP really just have nothing to say about it.
And NIP were thinking maybe we could try to rush a Baron. Maybe we could try to make ThunderTalk feel a little uncomfortable, but all they do is get themselves the scuttle. They'll lose the soul. Again, you have Voracious Audica. Oh, Doinby, no!
Oh, not Doinby's game this time around. Aki next target here, as we're maybe looking for a game almost as dominant as game 1 was here for Ninjas in Pyjamas or more. Setab now fighting 1v2.
Oh!
He's level 17! 25 minutes into this game, a 5-level lead over Leave. Picks up the kill. He's 5-0-2, and ThunderTalk are pushing down mid.
That's just going to be the end of the game. Hoya doesn't even have teleport, so he's just going to be saying goodbye from the other side of the map. And ThunderTalk clap back in this series against Ninjas in Pyjamas.
Hoya just gets to farm to finish off this game. Game number 3 on the way here. ThunderTalk admirably punched back against NIP as they got kicked in game number 1. 16-2 final score, as they actually will beat the time that NIP took to beat them in game 1. We're headed to a decider.
I don't know if I like this jinx here, Grapes. I feel like you're in such a tough spot. If ThunderTalk are able to get a good first punch with Feather and Setab kind of linking up, maybe there's an area for them to get those hyper procs, but you're playing Jinx into a Leona. Being able to reinforce on a side lane is pretty important. Shanji now probably going to be going down, at least lose his flash.
Yeah, here comes Feather. A nice dredge line as well, right after the flash is proc, but there's not enough damage. Meanwhile, on the bot side, Hoya could be in some trouble, recipient of the same treatment as PP God just taken down to below 1 tower shot left. Leave in a really bad spot, and that means that first blood is secured here by the Ahri. Setab collecting it, and that's another kill over to Beishuan. ThunderTalk are up 2-0 again.
Okay, look, if this is the ThunderTalk we're gonna get, I'm okay. I just didn't want to see another match where ThunderTalk come in, we're like, oh, we're excited about these some of these rookies and kind of developing pieces, and then they get absolutely stomped by NIP. PP God's gonna move on forward.
Yeah, Aki jumps in, lands the stun, Feather flashes away, but it's just still too much damage as NIP finally get on the board. It's Aki who picks up that kill, Dragon available for them to take.
Maybe an answer here onto Shanji. He doesn't have ward here. Oh no. Oh, yeah, just now lands.
Gonna spot him out. Remember, can't get slowed there with the Ixtal's impact, as there comes the needlework as well from Hoya. Second proc connects. All the needles so far connecting as Shanji knows he's dead. Uses the equalizer to clear the wave. As ThunderTalk pick themselves up the feet of warfare.
Okay with this, whereas Ninjas in Pyjamas, they have a lot of early skirmishing power, but oh my god, Leave.
Yeah, they're already taking a big chunk of damage. Thankfully, though, for NIP, Aki is here to stop Beishuan from going in. However, that could be bad news for Aki, who gets impaled straight back into everybody. And Feather lands another beautiful dredge line. Gonna get matched here by PP God.
Oh, no!
1xN is excited on the Jinx and picks himself up a double kill.
He already down a lot of gold when we talked about his clear. He is now struggling in these ganks with how one note his champion is. Typically, when you want to have this Pantheon, his ganks are really strong, but maybe he lacks a little bit of that damage.
But it looks like Ninjas in Pyjamas might want to fight this one, as here comes the teleport to be matched here by the Grand Starfall. As Aki is just going to get impaled, though, in response. 1xN just flashed over the wall. He's still so healthy, but then Leave was going to jump on top with the Killer Instinct, not doing enough damage. The Equalizer will finally burn down the Jinx, and Hoya will be next on the menu. It's a double killing for Shanji, but Leave gets bursted down as well. It's a brawl on both fronts that ThunderTalk end up taking advantage of.
They do that. Too many members have fallen. Doimi hasn't even finished his first item. We don't have a Trinity Force. I mean, yes, you have the static shiv here for Leave. He doesn't even have any of his evolves here. Why? All this damage on Ahoya is nice. He can teleport if he feels like he really needs to be full HP for this play, but PPGod's by himself.
Oh, yeah, PPGod, oh, he might be in a little bit of trouble, that's to say the least. And speaking of trouble, Aki, where are we going, bud? We're on the wrong side of the map, blast coating over just basically to your doom, as that's going to be Feather picking up the kill. Jinx now fully excited as Thunder Talk might have a big dominating team fight here. There's a third kill picked up for them. And here comes Leaf. He dashes forward the killer instinct. Charm goes wide. Hoya still alive. The hook lands on Adoibi. He's trying to find something back. He barely will be able to fall, but finally Leaf will get himself a trade. Another 3 for 3 across the map.
He is nowhere near these items completion. So I feel like NIP are pulling the trigger too early, and they're putting the game state in a part of the map that is just not playable for them.
So now that Thundertalk have picked up 2 dragons, fighting on these neutral objectives is going to become more and more important, and Thundertalk going to have the advantage there, just having that front to back.
Potentially a Herald here started. They don't really want to give over mid priority.
Oh, PPGod
try and fight.
Getting caught out again. The face checking went just way too far as Hoya locks down the kill.
Oh, Patron!
He lands a max range impale onto Shanji. Leave ulting over to try to find something, but it might just be toast. Satab dashing forward, looking for Doinby. It's a 4-for-1 fight for TT. Oh, and a max range Sharmanaki as well. Not gonna be able to finish that one off, but Thundertalk with 1xN pushing with 3 grubs are gonna break open this tier 2 mid.
They get 2 turrets mid, they'll grab the Rift Herald. Thundertalk have come to play and finish out this series. On through, it's going to be Shanji on the back end. Aki can use his ultimate here, but he's in no man's land.
This miscommunication, I mean, Doinby's already teleporting bot. There's no way that Shanji is going to be able to get a steal there, and now he's just probably going to pay for it with his life. The tier 1 tower is blocking, but nice job by Beishuan to try to cut him off. Ultimate's going to come in. Aki will join the fight, and actually really nicely done by Shanji. Makes it a 1-for-1 trade onto Beishuan, but still not a good situation overall for NIP.
3 turrets on the opposite sides of the map. Doinby will get a little bit of gold on bottom lane, while 1xN and Setab finish this top tier 1.
Dominant teams here in tournament.
Now for Thundertalk, their opponents are going to be able to take another turret here. They're at least trying to funnel 1xN, give him a little bit more gold by giving him the last hit. They'll also go for another turret here. Hoya does have the ability to teleport, but he is most likely just going to be carrying, and where the game state is, they are hitting 2 item power spikes on a lot of their carries. PPGod goes forward.
Goes in onto 1xN, but he's already cleansed away. Here comes the ultimate. Aki tries to stun him down. Shanji picks up the first kill on the Feather. Hoya, though, is huge, has the needlework going, and with the Shroud is immune and will not fall. It's a double kill picked up for Satab. Shanji will go down, and another team fight win for Thundertalk.
Ninjas and Pyjamas, let's wrap it up. You're already in the homes, kid. You have the home stadium advantage. That's nice for you. I'm glad we had the skybox. That's as good as it's going to get for you guys in this game. As another turret falls, as another objective falls with the Otacon here already started for Thundertalk. And if they feel greedy enough, they can even take the dragon that is just right next to them. Thundertalk Gaming are in the precipice of finding their 2nd series win, which wouldn't move them up in the standings, but when you think about how long this season is, games like this, series losses like this for NIP could be the difference. You take into consideration items, gold, experience, all these kinds of things. So,
I mean, Beishuan, there's no reason to just not keep going in. If you're this far ahead and you're going to just keep farming kills, why not? As Aki dies for the 5th time this game.
They really need to. You see how much damage 1xN does. Satab. Tries to finally
flashed away from here, but the hook does connect. That is going to be a big target as Doinby will fall. Has not had much of an impact in this game whatsoever.
But they just weren't able to find lead. They get Doinby and Aki, and maybe they're going to continue to try to stall out these bases.
1xN, no cleanse, no flash. The summoner lists Jinx, and she will get burned down. There's a shutdown going towards Shanji, but the trade is going to be big as Satab and Beishuan combine for another kill. Overall, a 2-for-1 across the map, but Satab is still alive. Hoya.
They then have to worry about turning around in a minute and a half's time towards this dragon. They make this play onto Peichuan.
Okay.
Ari's on his way.
He's just so tanky at this point, and it's a beautifully funneled charm in from the Ixtal's impact. And look at Hoya decimating ninjas in pajamas and putting them to sleep. Doinby in a 1v2, gonna get collapsed upon by Satab. Baron might not even be necessary. It's a triple kill in for the Ari, and they're gonna try to make it forward, but it will just be the full ace for TT as they head down the mid lane.
And if they can't end on this wave, well, guess what? They've got a bottom lane wave to do it. ThunderTalk continue to be full of surprises here in the LPL. First it was BLG, and now it's Doinby and NIP.
It's the biggest win that they've had all split too long, as ThunderTalk have been able to walk the Thunder walk and pick up the 2-1 over NIP.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.